Good morning students, welcome to your science class. Recently we are dealing with the chapter 11 that is about natural disasters, and in the previous class we learned about disasters and types of disasters. There we learned that natural disasters are those that occur naturally and they cause damage to life and property. And we learned about earthquake, which is a natural disaster, and in today's class we will be going to learn more about natural disasters, and these include tsunami, floods and cyclones. First, let's see what a tsunami is. Before we know about tsunami, let's revise something from the previous class in order to know how a tsunami takes place. In the previous class, we learned that the earth is divided into four components. They are the crust, mantle, outer core and inner core. Then we learned that the earth is composed of various plates known as the tectonic plates, and the collision of these tectonic plates lead to earthquake. Similarly, when the tectonic plates collide beneath the sea, that is, when the tectonic plates collide beneath the sea, it leads to a tsunami. So, beneath the oceans there lies tectonic plates, and when these tectonic plates collide, this leads to huge waves and this causes tsunami. So, when the tectonic plates beneath the sea collide, it leads to huge waves known as the tsunami. Now, let's define tsunami. Tsunami is derived from a Japanese word meaning harbor wave, and it is a series of ocean waves flowing at high speed. So, a tsunami is a series of ocean waves flowing at a high speed, and it occurs when the ocean floor, that is the tectonic plate, move upwards or downwards during an earthquake. So, a tsunami is similar to an earthquake that happens beneath the sea, and it is a series of ocean waves flowing at a high speed. Now, let's see the causes of a tsunami. The causes are underwater earthquake, volcanic eruptions, ice falls, heavy rainfall. So, a tsunami is a series of ocean waves with high speed, and the causes of these tsunami are underwater earthquake, volcanic eruptions, ice falls, heavy rainfall, etc. And these occur when the tectonic plate beneath the oceans collide with each other. Now, let's see the measures to be noted while the occurrence of a tsunami. The first point is, do not watch an approaching tsunami from the beach, and the second one is, when there is a tsunami warning, move to an open area above the sea level or walk at least 3 km inland away from the coastline. So, whenever you get an information or an alert about a tsunami, you have to move away from the place and walk at least 3 km inland, that is 3 km away from the coastline. So, a tsunami is a series of ocean waves with high speed, and it occurs due to the collision of tectonic plates beneath the oceans. And the points to be remembered are, when you get a tsunami warning, you have to move away 3 km inland from the coastline. Now, take page number 142. There you have 3 questions to fill in the blanks. The first question is, the earth is covered with several massive plates of rocks called dash. The answer is tectonic plates. The earth is covered with several massive plates of rocks called tectonic plates. The second question, a dash is formed by many ocean waves flowing at a high speed. The answer is tsunami. A tsunami is formed by many ocean waves flowing at a high speed. The third question, a tsunami occurs only when the dash moves upwards or downwards during an earthquake. The answer is ocean floor. A tsunami occurs only when the ocean floor moves upwards or downwards during an earthquake. So, a tsunami is a series of ocean waves with high speed, and it occurs as a result of collision of the tectonic plates beneath the ocean floor. Now, let's move into the next type of natural disaster, that is flood. So, what is a flood? A flood is the overflow of water that submerges the land that is usually dry. So, a flood is the overflow of water that submerges a land that is usually dry, and the reasons for the flood are heavy and prolonged rainfall, melting of snow, river overflow, dam breakage, etc. So, a flood is the overflow of water in a land that stays usually dry, and the causes are heavy and prolonged rainfall, melting of snow, river overflow and dam breakage. Let's see the effects of flood. The effects include, they harm life, they damage houses, roads, bridges, submerges, field, etc. So, flood is the overflow of water in a land that is usually dry, and the causes are heavy and prolonged rainfall, melting of snow, river overflow, etc. And it usually occurs in the rainy season. Now let's see what cyclones are. A cyclone is a severe storm with strong winds and heavy rains. So a cyclone is characterized by strong winds and heavy rainfall. It causes or it leads to flooding in the coastal region. So a cyclone is a severe storm with strong winds and heavy rains, and it causes flooding in the coastal regions. If we define cyclone, it can be said that it is a storm that involves the movement of warm high pressure air and cooler low pressure air. That is, a cyclone is a storm that involves movement of warm high pressure air and cooler low pressure air. The effects of cyclone include destruction of crop, livestock, etc., the contamination of water supply system, and the flooding of inland area. So whenever cyclones occur, it may lead to the flooding of the coastal regions. Now let's see the measures that should be taken care of while the occurrence of cyclones as well as floods. The points include: listen to the radio or TV for the latest weather warnings. So you have to stay alert whenever these kind of disasters occur. Next, you have to turn off the gas and electricity before leaving your house and move to a relief camp. Do not go near floodwaters. Keep off gutters and drains. Stay away from electric poles and broken power lines. Eat freshly cooked food and drink boiled water only. So a flood is the overflow of water in a land that usually stays dry, and a cyclone is a severe storm with strong winds and heavy rains. Then we learned about the points to be noted whenever these floods and cyclones occur. Now let's have a quick revision to this chapter. In this chapter, we learned about disasters and we classified them on the basis of their origin as natural disasters and man-made disasters. Among the natural disasters, we learned 4 of them. They include earthquake, tsunami, floods and cyclone. Now let's see the causes as well as the safety measures to be followed while the occurrence of these 3 disasters in a quick glance. First, earthquake. The cause of this earthquake is the collision of tectonic plates, and the safety measures to be followed is you have to quickly go outdoors, turn off the gas and electricity, and do not use a lift. Then we learned about tsunami. The causes were the collision of tectonic plates under the ocean, and the safety measures to be followed was to move to an area of 100 feet above the sea level or 3 km inland away from the coastline. Then we learned about floods and cyclone. The causes were heavy rains and strong winds, and the safety measures to be followed were to move to a relief camp, turn off gas and electricity, and to stay away from electric poles and broken power lines. This marks the end to this chapter. I hope the topics were clear to you. You have to study the chapter after this class so that it will be easier for you to answer the exercise questions in the next class. So see you in your next class. Thank you.